And there's a reason for that. Probably because I am Chinzera Yuti, aka the one. Ya'u'uma e uda, peace to the goddesses and gods. It's your boy Chinzera Yuti, aka the one. And today we got Young Pharaoh on TOON TV, his first interview on TOON TV. And I will go out of my way to say that I thought this was his best interview ever, outside of his original induction into Signetter when he did the On the Couch interview. And he kind of goes all over the place, but I'm just putting this warning out there now. If you haven't heard of Young Pharaoh, he's one of those radical types, right? So it's going to be a long ride. It's going to be a bumpy one too. If you're sensitive, if you don't like the whole shake up your existence and learn some new shit, if you like that whole blue pill Milky Way matrix thing that you're stuck in, this ain't the channel for you. This ain't the video for you, all right? And if you're new to the channel, I need you to drop a like, drop a share, family. Subscribe, please, please. We need the views, all right? Share this with your friends, your family, but don't watch it at work. Don't watch it at school. I'm going to get you kicked out of class. I'm going to get you fired. One of the two.
Hey, real tone, it's some real money in the room.
For the people who don't know, man, let them know who we have in front of the camera.
For those of you who don't know, and I want to give a special salute again, once again, to Real TOON TV. I appreciate any and everybody who allows me to appear on a platform.
Right.
And if y'all been following me for years, you know I always give my absolute and the utmost respect, or show the absolute and utmost respect. For those of you who don't know, I go by Young Pharaoh. Also, Aden Nobunaga, aka General Aden. And with that being said, I'm gonna just give y'all, I ain't gonna give y'all the short version, I'm gonna give y'all the long version so y'all can know who I am and what I'm about. Now, I'm undefeated in debates publicly. I do say publicly because I've been debating before 2015, but just y'all didn't really know who I was until 2015. I'm undefeated in debates publicly since 2015, so that's going on almost 10 years. I'm 2-0 against Harvard. I had a debate with a Harvard professor on the subject of Egypt, and they backed out. And I believe I had another debate with Harvard on the subject of the evolution theory, and they backed out. So by them backing out, I'm counting them as losses. And with that being said, the reason for them backing out is because they said the professor wanted to debate me, but then the college told me to send my premise in. And once I sent my premise in, I know for a fact he synced my stance and realized he couldn't beat me. So he said he don't want to debate somebody that's younger than him, aka he copped out. So I'm taking that as a tool. I'm taking that as a win. Now with that being said, I run an online university. It's the #1 Black university in the world. It was #1 on the App Store April 30th, 2021. It would have stayed #1 if it wasn't sabotaged by, sadly, a Black employee that I hired. And, you know, sometimes people do hater, jealous things, but it's okay. And with that being said, on that university, I have over 1,000 hours of content that I myself have done the research on via a multi-million-dollar library I have at my house. And this is real research. It's not regurgitated from anybody else. And not only have I done a great job discovering past truths, but I've done a beyond job.
Check it out, y'all. It's gonna get good. I promise you.
Discovering new information that nobody has ever discovered or come up with. I have totally dissipated and debunked all religions in the world, including Hinduism as well. And I say that because nobody ever gets on Hinduism, but I got on that as well and show how it came from the Greeks and how the word Hindu is actually not Sanskrit. The word Hindu is actually Arabic and it means slave. And I consider myself today to be an Atenist, which is the way of life. I don't like to say religion because religion means religion. To religion you to a Roman army. Religion by definition is a Roman army of 2,000 plus men, and ain't none of us white. And with that being said, I'll say a way of life because Buddhism is considered a way of life, and Atenism is the Egyptian form of Buddhism, and it is the teaching that the Pharaoh Akhenaten attempted to bestow upon his people, which is why they like to slander him and say he's the weakest Pharaoh, when really he was the strongest Pharaoh. And I also tie Egypt into Japan through the migration of the Naga Kushites, Naga meaning God, Kushites meaning Kush. And, you know, the gods from the land of Kush. And not only do the Mongoloid, aka the Asian people, confirm that they're descendants of Africanoid genealogy. If you look into Buddhism or Shintoism, the main deity there is the sun, just like Ra. So this is why this looks like the Japanese flag, because this is the Japanese flag. Just in Egypt, we would call it Ra or Aten. And in Japan, you know, they may just, you know, refer to it via their deity names in Japanese. So I'm just going to say I'm a holistic healer. I would like to say I am currently the number one holistic healer. I actually just saved my own life from being drugged by Rick Ross, Little Dirk, and Richard Booth. I actually just saved myself. So that proves that I'm a great healer. And also I'm the number one attorney in the world. Okay. And if not the world, for sure the country. May you hand me that right there? This is just one of many of my works, which is printed out from my university, Aten University, ATEN University.com. As you can see, I gave this presentation February 14, 2021, The Biden Family, Drugs, Pedophilia, and Criminal Secrets. And I have things in here that I won't show because I don't want to get this gentleman's channel flagged. But as you know, as they know it, I've showed them even imagery of not just, and nobody in here is pedophiles, let me say that, but this is some of the content that was on Hunter Biden's laptop. And I've showed them content not only of him having sex with his own underage, but either Obama's adopted daughter, because if you don't know, that's not Obama's real daughter, they're adopted. And if you don't know, Michelle Obama is really Michael Robinson, it's a tranny.
When Michelle's mad.
And so with that being said,
wait.
I'm the one that blew the lid off of Joe Biden. I'm the one that blew.
Come on. You can't just walk up and come on. You can't just say something like we're not just gonna skip over that. Here, I'm gonna let you.
Him having sex with his own underage, but either Obama's adopted daughter, because if you don't know, that's not Obama's real daughter, they're adopted. And if you don't know, Michelle Obama is really Michael Robinson, it's a tranny. And so with that being said, I'm the one that blew the lid off of Joe Biden. I'm the one that blew the lid off of the Wayfair human trafficking with George Soros, who owes me some money. And I'm the one that blew the lid off all of the elites. And what else do I have in my portfolio here? I also brought my presentation I did on Jeffrey Epstein, him being Israeli Mossad's biggest spy for over 30 years. I'm the one that exposed how the general public school systems via the McGraw-Hill is actually owned by Robert Maxwell, who was the father of Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the handler of Jeffrey Epstein. And I pretty much blew the lid on Epstein Island and all of the human trafficking that was going on. I also have a complete, we can call it a dossier. I got the dossier here on the Nation of Islam. I got a couple of them, but I only brought one. This one right here is about how Rizza Islam is not actually a legitimate member of the Nation of Islam, but how he actually was a Scientologist, and he didn't go to the Nation of Islam until he got caught scamming for, as you can see here. And the reason I have the Wikipedia printout is because LA Times deleted the article after I exposed it. So I printed this out. I got the paper edition. In 2008, about 100 protesters gathered outside of the World Literacy Crusade's office. And if you don't know the World Literacy Crusade, as you can see here, that I got a screenshot from this YouTube page, the World Literacy Crusade. This is Rizza Islam when he was young. This was a branch off of the Church of Scientology.
I told you this video might just not be for you. Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. Where should we start, y'all? Hey, Yuti Clan, where would you like to start today? How about this, motherfucker? My God. Ghislaine Maxwell, a.k.a. the handler for Jeffrey Epstein, her father happened to actually be a large part of the funding for McGraw-Hill, the textbooks that your kids use, and you still want to tell me that the public school is not for indoctrination, you fucking goofy? This shit ain't no game. I told you, if you might not be ready for this. And if you at school, I encourage you to go to the next video. If you at work, I encourage you to save it for later. Biden's laptop, Michelle Obama, Michael Robinson, both of those kids are not actually their kids. You can't find a picture of Michelle Obama pregnant. Why would that be? That's kind of fucking weird. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I'm not saying everything he's saying is facts, but all I'm saying is motherfucking god damn. Hey, I told you, this is how Pharaoh going, and this too. All of you weird ass Uncle Tom ass raccoon ass weirdo in the house ass weirdos. Obama's my president. Blessed thing that's ever happened to him. My president is black and my Lambo's blue, nigga. I love to be inside the house. It's crazy. Y'all, it's crazy. Oh, insert here.
and for the international order that we have worked for generations to build. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. That order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
Oh, so Obama didn't give a New World Order speech too? Just like the rest of them? Y'all is crazy. But I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. You see, I am the one.
So, like, if you put Islam in the back of your name, that's like, you know, you standing on Islam. And so, I guess my question is, what's wrong with him, you know, having been a part of the scientific community before joining Islam?
Yes, sir. Okay, now, I do want to say this, just for discussion purposes. I'm not anti-government, not a black extremist. I'm anti-corruption, right? Now, as the leader of the black community and as a military level general, I'm not going to never try to throw nothing on no dirt on no man. I will say this about Rizza Islam as far as what is wrong with him. The reason I even know who Rizza Islam is, right, is because he slid in my son's mom's DMs and said he would my kids. I never knew who that man even was.
All right, so it's not. I'm not letting the brother from the nation defend himself. Don't turn it into, oh, he just want to take Pharaoh's side. No, I'm not on Pharaoh's side. Actually, I got a point to make real quick, and it's crazy. It's crazy how the universe works. Tell me why I jumped in this brother's live, offered to pay him for an interview, just like I offered to pay Shaka Amos for an interview, who took me seriously, who is a way more pronounced Egyptologist than you, who you even wanted to study under at one point, and this brother gave me the time of day. This brother actually did 2 interviews with me, and I would call him the greatest Egyptologist in the last decade. See, Pharaoh, we're not going to pretend like Pharaoh's not big. We're not going to pretend like Pharaoh is not one of the most predominant black men in this conscious community. We're not going to pretend. The nigga got bread. The nigga make bread. The nigga, every time he do something like this, it go viral. But what's with the too good? What's with the too good for my people shit? What's your platform look like? How many views you do? Why is it that we're so quick to push our own people away unless it's for some bread? But then you get on something like the House of Consciousness and leave a live audience debate with one of the most respected elders and say F you niggas and leave the platform. Who does that? Who does that? But then seeing that, I still come to you. I still offer you the money just for an interview. And you tell me, I ain't doing this. I ain't doing Blase Skippy. I don't know who the fuck you are. It's weird. It's weird. That kind of energy shows, brother. Something happened to Pharaoh. I'll be the first to say it. He's still a god body. God bodies go through shit. But something happened to Pharaoh. I think it was he had openly admits he got drugged and he set up, and he thinks that he just told you he thought that Rick Ross, Lil Durk, and somebody else tried to kill him. Obviously, that fucks with your psyche. You should probably stay off that booger sugar. But other than that, like, it's just weird.
So, like, why don't you consider yourself a part of the conscious community? You know, what's your relationship with the conscious community via brother Chinzera? Yeah.
The couch.
I got a hell of a story for you, champion. But he tried to play me on a contract, and Brother Polite scammed me. I almost had to shoot Brother Polite ass to get my money back.
What?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a story for you. So this is what happened. This is how I got involved with the conscious community. Now, once again, I want to reinstate, I'm an Atenist. That's the Egyptian form of Buddhism. Most people are not aware of that, as I'm on my journey to reestablish Egypt as a global empire. So I just, for latent terms, say I'm a Buddhist. Now, I had like 30, 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I did a lecture I did like a 4-part series or something called the 76 trillion year history of the black race or something like that. It's actually still on my university now. Chinzera jumped in my comments and was like, hey man, could you come give this presentation on my platform? Now, to me at the time, I'm fresh out of prison. I don't know shit about this man like that. All I know is it's a lot of black, seemingly educated people here. So to me, I felt like, well, perfect. It'd be the perfect opportunity for me to showcase who the fuck I am. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So boom, he invited me to give the lecture. He invited me to get his presentation called "The Bible is Based Off Astrology." Now, it was that. And then also I had a friend who I believe he's passed away now. His name is we go by Authority. His name was Robert Kirkland. He was a God body from Brooklyn, New York. Now, I met him in Wyoming.
What's a God body?
Like, how can I explain it? People that believe God is within they self, like basically like Wu-Tang Clan back in the day, God, body, arm, leg, arm, head, peace, God, what's the science, what's the days, mathematics? You never heard all of that?
No.
Oh, 5%er. You ever heard of a 5%er?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a God body.
Yeah, I know Christians also believe that God is within them, and they're,
Yeah, it get
West
intricate.
say he's a
Right.
God.
Obviously, I'm not gonna play the whole thing. The brother is kind of long-winded if you never listened to him before, but a lot of teachers are. It's just kind of what it is.
And it's not clipped in there no more. But I remember when we went live, by the end of the live, because when Sinetter edit his interviews, he cut the back off. So like, let's say we was doing this and this was live. At the end, he'll let people call in and speak to the guests. But when he put it up, he cut that off. Why he cut that off, I don't know. That's just his style. But at the end, they was cussing Nature Boy out. They was like, yo, we Young Pharaoh, but we don't this. And then we on the so boom, when I get on the interview, I do the joint, but then at the end, I told Sinetter, I'm like, listen, as I told you before I came down here, your right-hand man, his name is Brother Polite. He just scammed me for $500 when I first got out of jail. So that was another reason for me to go down there.
So this was so you had gotten scammed from Brother Polite
before
prior
this even
you going
invited
to New York.
Right.
Okay.
But he never knew that. So it's like
Sinetter didn't know.
Yeah, so you accidentally invited your right-hand man, one of his victims. But you never knew he scammed me. Because like I said, Polite scammed me when I first got out of jail. By the time Sinetter called me, I had like 40,000 followers.
Same Brother Polite scammed you.
Because I talked to that man on the phone. And this is going to sound crazy as fuck, but at the time, I was gullible enough to believe it. So he hit me with this is no disrespect to the Moors. He hit me with the same, they be talking about that Moorish science, sovereignty, secure party creditor. You on parole, I could get you off parole. The government don't have no all that good talking jigaboo. And I gave that the $550 for a secure party creditor package or whatever it was called off his website. I got all screenshotted at home. Matter of fact, I'm gonna print a book out on his, but I got all the screenshotted at home. I still got everything throughout the years on the flash drive. Two terabyte flash drives backed up. You would never get rid of it. But with that being said, so I send the bread. I talk to him and his wife. I send him the bread, and then after I send the bread, he just keep giving me the runaround, like do this and then this will happen. I do it, don't nothing happen. Do this, then this will happen. I do it. Email me this information, nothing get done, and then it ghosted me. So after the ghosted me, I'm like, oh, this shit got to be a scam. So then I started researching into it, and I just see, and I'm not making this number up, y'all, because I'm not a hater. I'm not here to never try to stop nobody bad. Y'all can look it up. As a matter of fact, if y'all go find this attorney named Attorney Ike Speaks, she's a federal attorney. And according to her, just in 1 year alone, Polite scammed for like $600,000. That's just in 1 year. The reason he left Brooklyn is because the feds was trying to get him at one of his events for scamming, and then he ran to Cali. Then when they tried to get him in Cali, he ran to Miami. So I'm just letting y'all know this is what they do. I told Sinetter, I said, yo, call Polite on the three-way, put it on speaker because he's not answering the phone. So put him on speaker, like you talking to him. Let me talk to him. So when he called Polite, he put it on speaker. I was like, yo, no, Polite, like, peace, what up, sir? I'm like, what up? This Pharaoh. So he like, who? I'm like, this Pharaoh. I'm like, yo, da-da-da-da-da. So I told him who I was. So he like, oh, what's up? I'm like, yo, where you been at? I'm blocked or something? Like, why I can't get in contact with you? So he like, no, my bad, brother. It ain't like that. You not try to king you to death and brother you to death when they know they wrong. My bad, brother. King, brother. All that bull. So I'm like, yo, I told him straight up, I said, Polite, I don't really know how much money you got. I'm not counting your pockets, but I know I'm broke as now. I just got out of jail, and I ain't hustling. I ain't offer me 100 bands to knock something off. I turned it down so I could stay so I could stay legit and on my spiritual path. So I'd rather be
legit to quit.
Yeah, I'd rather stay humble. I'd rather be humble and work my way up slow than be scamming. But I'm like, that's my last bread. That's my last money. Like, nigga, I'm in college. I'm getting my little check from the Navy every month. By the time I pay my rent, that's all I got. So whatever money you got, whether you renting these cars or what, that's my last bread. So I'm like, it might not be nothing to you. It hurts me. So I'm like, bro, I need my money back. Or I'm like, out. And I don't give a f about Sinetta being your man's or nothing. I air his out too. So I think I'm on net. I don't even think Sinetta paid me. I think Polite paid me back. Neither one of them paid me. I think it's Western Union me and gave me my money back because I kept getting on that head every day. Like, bro, I would really shoot you, bro. And it ain't about the money. It's about the principle. I'm not out here. It's rules to the game. If you in the street, rob that's in the street. You don't go rob the old mom and pop store. They not in the street. You feel what I'm saying? It's rules to the game. I'm not in the street. I'm in college at the time and working. You just scammed me for my last, even though it was only $500, it was my last at the time. So I need that. I got rent to pay, all kind of. So I end up keep putting the pressure on him. And then his, I believe it was his wife, if I'm not mistaken. But if not, let's just say somebody in his circle, Western Union me my money back. And then from there, I was beefing with the conscious community ever since then. Man, them niggas had to put a fake case on me and all kind of, not like your vaginal wall coming out, but with a shaft in there. And your balls is actually your ovaries coming out. So a penis and a vagin, your penis and your testicles is actually your vaginal, is actually a vaginal tube or a vaginal canal, and the ovaries coming out of the body. This is why it's male and female. Man and womb man. A woman is just a man with a womb, no homo. So you know, this is why they call her our counterpart. You know, even in the Bible, when they say Adam and Eve, Adam is Adam's and Eve is the mitochondrial Eve gene. That's why they say Eve came from Adam's rib, because Eve is really just DNA looks like a twisted ladder. It looks like a rib cage. So that's the science why they say woman came from man, but really man came from woman. So when I say the black woman is God, I'm talking about genetical foundated proof that they were here first, at least in this form, from what we know ourselves to be Homo sapien. And then I'm talking about from cometology, because it's not Egyptology, it's cometology, where we're talking about NOON, which is the primordial waters, which is the universe, which is ever expanding. That is primarily an electronic force. And when we say electronic, we're talking about electrons, because electrons, which are on the outside of atoms, are the particular molecules which actually create elements. So to give you an example, if this was chemistry, the first element would be helium, I believe, if not hydrogen. Hydrogen, right? Yeah. Thank you very much. Hydrogen. And then let's say hydrogen gives off hydrogen has one electron. And then when hydrogen gets another electron from another atom's ring, it upgrades to another element and becomes helium. So the masculine force, just like in our solar system, the sun is in the middle and the planets are like electrons. Same thing on an atom. That's why they say as above, so below. You got the protons and the neutrons in the middle, which is the power. Then you got the electrons on the outside, like your mama in the kitchen on Thanksgiving with all your aunties. They cooking and making. So that's how the universe is constantly expanding and things are being born. Planets are born out of stardust. There's no such thing as stardust. It's actually just called astrobiologics. So astrobiology is actually just the origins of where all of our DNA and everything come from and why we made up of carbon and stardust and how we form on these planets. So when I say the black woman is God and she's the physical representation of the creator is the universe and she's the physical creator of the universe. But I don't mean that in the sense of your baby mother should be dogging you and cussing you out. Because I know for a fact a lot of women take some of my teachings and they abuse them. Just like men take some of my teachings and they abuse them. And that is my biggest fear, and what my biggest fear has always been, that somebody would say, well, Young Pharaoh said this, so let me go around the house and be a terrorist. You know what I'm saying? So I'm only speaking towards that as generator, organizer, dispenser. Black women generate, organize, and dispense genetics in order for us to carry on these physical vessels. I've also used the analogy of renting a car. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to reincarnate, for you to become carnal once again, right, you have to come through the vessel of a female. So it'd be like going to rent a car. You gotta You get that car, you do what you do, and you take it back. You get this body, you do what you do, then you go back to the ethers, and your body goes back to the earth. At least it should. I don't know what, they ain't no telling what they doing with your body today, but it should be going back in the ground. But long story short, that is what I mean when I say the black woman is God, just giving her genetic and cosmic and spiritual respects, even if she today has abandoned or forgot them. But as far as like just trying to be bullies or get you fired from your job or your relationships up or not let you see your kids or put you on child support,
right?
that's not what
It's a no-go. It's a no-go. And even though he's long-winded, sometimes the brother gets off topic. Sometimes he gets, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to follow because he's going so many different places. But after so many hours, your brain just works at a different speed. And people don't realize that. People don't realize that when you've studied for literally years of your life, totaled up becomes the years of your life, then it's not the same. It's not the same. But you got to give the brother his credit where credit is due. This is a dope interview. He's given a lot of good stuff. You got to be able to, you know what I'm saying? Even with me skipping forward, you know what I'm saying? Take the little bits and pieces, find stuff to learn from it. Take parts out of it. You can learn from everything. But the point I was gonna make is that this is the difference of being on point right here. Just wait till you see part 2. Look at him. He's present. He's following the host the whole time. He's not. I mean, brother probably smoked a little bit before. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with that. But he's still on point. He still got his thoughts together. Just wait till you see part 2, man. It's not.
and this, I ain't put it out yet, but I put it together. It was about a feminist who was there during the roots of the movement, and she broke down how she regretted it because she actually said that it played a role in the suicide rate of men. And we can see that that's right today because the suicide rate of men is 80%. And I ain't making you feel yourself. You ain't making me feel myself. Do you know what's making yourself? They go to college for all of them years and become a doctor, and you just come their life up and put them on child support and do. So now don't want to live no more because you didn't their whole life up. That's what's making. So they have kids in the family, and then you run off with kids with another, and then rob him. Because I'm gonna tell you exactly. I'm gonna say the same I said on in court to the judge, to my baby mothers is kidnap, robbery, and extortion. If I take a child from you and tell you you can't see the kid unless you're giving me some money or this, that, and the third, at minimum, that's extortion, if not robbery. So just because y'all is doing it through the courts don't make it no less of a crime. It's still kidnap, robbery, and extortion. You're just doing it through the courts. So it's still a crime, period. So that's what's making commit suicide. Feminists don't give a fuck about y'all out here just beating niggas with the whip every day. Now.
All right. Yeah. So the rest of the interview, he was kind of just talking about child support, the issue amongst the black community, men and women, all the friction, all the tension, all the single mother households, all the bullshit that we do. And he got a point. He's got a point. As you can see, I mean, it was a lot to unpack in this interview, man. I think this is one of his best ever. I really do. I really do. He's got a lot of good at-home content. His at-home lectures are where he used to really dip in his bag. But as far as like in-person interviews, yeah, this one was tough. This one was tough. And the first half was definitely a lot better than the second half. But this first interview was a lot better than the second interview. I'm about to show y'all part 2 coming up next. It's been great. It's been great, family. If you're new to the channel, I need you to like, share, make sure you support. Please, please, please subscribe to the channel. We need the views. I need all the help I can get. We're just gonna keep getting better. We're just gonna keep getting better, keep climbing. This was Young Pharaoh, Real TOON TV, part 1. I got part 2 coming up next for you guys. Alrighty. Ya Uuma Uda. Peace to the goddesses and God. Much love, family. Much love. Peace. And there's a reason for that. Probably because I am Chinzera Yuti, aka the one.